and I'll let you know.
Where's the lighter?
I'm just looking for a lighter. Just give us a second, and then we're going to go live. All righty, it's 5:00, Pat. Right there. Okay. There you go.
Don't move it too fast.
No, I won't.
Okay, you're pointing.
In there, in the blue. Should be one. You got a lighter? You got in my jacket, Patty?
This one?
Yeah, in one of the sides. We're just getting a lighter. What a trip it's been. A strange trip, but a beautiful trip. And things will be back to normal next week. Yeah, pop the top and then just flick it.
You're going to have to go to the last one.
Right there. Hit it hard. There you go. Okay, Patty's here. All right. And I know we're really early and we've lost a lot of people, and I'm sorry about that. We will be back to, we're in New York City and Manhattan, and we'll talk about that.
Okay.
So, Patty, I want to sit down now and bring us into Shabbat. It is actually Shabbat now, as you can see out here. It's really big, and
Big and dark.
it's big and dark over here. It is very Christmassy here right now. I'm letting you all know that. You have to get used to those Christmas tunes. There's Patty. All right.
Hey, everybody. Shabbat Shalom.
All right. Let's got your.
I've got my little makeshift.
Yeah. Wait, maybe I could just hold it.
Okay, yeah. I've got very creative with these makeshift Sabbath candle setups. This is a bar of soap and some birthday candles, as you can see, and they're going to suffice just fine. So if y'all are ready. Baruch atah Yehovah Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu ladlik neshel Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. And we'd also like to say a blessing on the bread and the wine. I think we have a little wine here, honey. Let me go get it.
Oh, you got that by me, Pat.
Huh?
Oh, I see.
So we have this wonderful gift of Sotheby's wine from Chloe. We'd like to say thank you. We didn't open it, but this is something that we had already. And we're going to talk quickly about our Sotheby's visit.
Okay.
And Dave is going to take over that. But first, I want to mention our Hebrew word, which is not really a Hebrew word. I didn't have time to prepare that, but this is more like a universal word. So what happened was Dave said to me, I said to Dave today, I said, do these pants make me look fat? And he said, oof. And I thought, you know what? That is a universal word, oof. So that is our word for the day. It could be Hebrew, it could be Italian, it could be English, it could be Spanish or whatever you want it, but I think everyone knows what that means.
I thought I was going to be on stage.
I know. He was honest. He was honest.
Yeah.
So,
right.
oof.
Well, we're going to go right to our Shema that we always read because it's with us no matter where we're at. Hear, O Israel, Elohim, our Elohim is one. And you shall love your Elohim, your Elohim, with all your heart and with all your soul, very exceedingly. And these words, which I am commanding you today, shall be upon your heart and taught incisively to your children. And you shall speak of them when you sit in your house and as you walk along the way, and when you lie down and when you rise. And you shall bind them for a sign upon your hand, and they will be as bands between your eyes. And you shall write them on the door frames of your house and your gates, because Elohim made a covenant with you in Oreb on the day of assembly.
Thank you. Very nice.
Second is like the first. And we're going to mix this in a little bit with the commandment, the 10 commandments we saw today. We'll talk about this. Sanctify the seventh day, and you shall cease on it. Because in 6 days I made the heavens and the earth and all that is in them, and I ceased on the seventh day. Therefore you shall also cease, you and your animal and all that is yours. I am Elohim, your Elohim.
Amen. Thank you for that.
We're going to talk about that in a minute because of what we saw at Sotheby's today with Clody.
We're going to get back to our proverb reading schedule next week, but because of limited time and organizing things, we just thought we'd do something a little different tonight.
Again, this is one of those huge weeks. Last time I spoke, it was when President Kennedy was killed. This, of course, in 1941 is the week in history in which the attack on Pearl Harbor was made. And there were 2,403 people killed in several hours, and about 1,178 people were also wounded. So for us, it's an amazing remembrance. People don't remember. Of course, FDR gave the famous speech, "This is a day that will live in infamy," and it launched us into World War II, and it was a fight for the world at this point in time. Anyways, I just wanted to remember that as a big deal. All right, so the next we're going on to the oldest inscribed stone tablet of the Ten Commandments. And this is where Patty and I and Clody went today. We have better pictures, and we have an enormous amount of video, and we actually were able to hold it, if you could
touch it,
which to me is an amazing thing. You'll see our pictures of it. So it is maybe Roman time, or maybe a little later Byzantine. We don't know, but it is the Ten Commandments. We've talked about it on Discord, and I wanted to say to you that seeing something that old, and it was in Paleo Hebrew, so there's a lot of issues that I'm sure that we could get maybe Ross and Jono to talk about it sometime. I don't want to put ideas in your head, but it's just those things to me are very interesting. And why was it like that? Anyways, it was an amazing part of it. Was used as a paving stone, and
people walked over it.
They had no idea what it was. So much for its holiness. One of the things that's interesting is the second commandment is the Sabbath commandment, just like the Moses scroll. And so that there's a kind of commonality in there. And I felt really, it was an amazing thing. And for us to have seen it before it goes up for sale. If it goes into private hands, it'll never be seen again, in that way. I guess the going price is going to be $2 million, which is a lot of money for a piece of stone. But it's authentic, in the sense that it's much later than the time of Moses, obviously. But it was amazing and to go see it. And the issue that I wanted to say was that for us, I was so great to meet Clody there. And
we had a wonderful visit.
We spoke a lot.
We had coffee after, and it was great. It was
a great time. So Clody helped us get back here even in time, and a friend who drove the Tesla.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, I wanted to say that to everybody that, we 100% always want to try to make these Shabbat meetings. Sometimes, last weekend we were with family for the first time in a long time. And this weekend we're here in New York. We have a lot of people to go see. Last night we attended a fundraiser for Assure. And Assure, just to let you know, is fundraising for the orphans of October 7th attack in Israel. And the requirement is that both parents are lost. Mm-hmm. So there are 40 children that we're trying to raise money for. not us, I shouldn't say like we have it, but there's a lot of people trying to raise this money, and
This
just to be
group of people.
just to be a part of it. We went there, and it was run by the Pomerances, and I can tell you, it was a very loving and beautiful gathering. And we got to see, and we'll show some of this in a later time on Discord maybe. We got to see the talk that Naam made, and
she showed us some videos of
what
very heart-moving videos of
Yes.
some of the things that happened.
yes,
And
and
pictures of the children and things like that. And I just wanted to say that I put the video, if anybody would like to donate, I put the video up on the website up on Discord and on the UIWU official
yeah,
group page, if anybody would like to see what they're
And-
doing. And
we met the people who gave up their lives to do this. They were very successful, and they're not getting any money to do this.
right.
They just decided to help these kids.
Mhm.
And the beautiful thing for us was that they understand that in a couple of years everyone will have forgotten.
Right,
But these kids will not have forgotten.
And this foundation, what they're doing with the money is they're going to help as if they were the parents. Well, what would the parents do for these children? Help them through college,
Right.
maybe get a car, save up for a home, and
Yeah.
kind of so that they might have somewhat of a normal life.
Yeah.
Since their parents have
Beautiful,
passed.
beautiful.
Mhm.
And they showed I won't get into the total graphicness of it, but they showed a scene where a car is hit by the terrorists. The mom and dad are killed, and in the back seat is a 6-year-old girl, and her 3-year-old sister.
Mhm.
And what happens is the 6-year-old puts a blanket over the 3-year-old and covers her so she won't get hurt. Like she knew how to do this,
Mhm.
which really bothers me that she would know how to do that.
Right.
But then the next spot that happens and really blows my mind is that the IDF comes up to the car and she says to ask them in Hebrew, "Are you Israel? Are you Israel?"
Mhm.
She did not want to let them see her 3-year-old sister because she was saving
protecting her.
She was protecting her.
Yes.
And so these two children are on the list, and they deserve to be on the list.
Mhm.
It is to me a most beautiful thing to witness these other people caring.
Mhm.
And I know there's a lot of great charities in the world, so you don't have to join this one. But I felt good joining it,
Mhm.
and I was very understanding of what they're trying to do.
Right.
And
Trying to give these kids somewhat of a normal future after suffering such a horrific
exactly,
experience. One can't imagine how
exactly.
scarred these kids are, and
No.
it's just wonderful. I think I read that one of them had gotten engaged, another one was accepted at a university, and so they're trying to have somewhat of a normal life
Right.
after such a horrible thing, and that's kind of where this organization stands.
And people, you understand, and I know there's people here that have lost people. Believe me,
Mhm.
We lost our son 7 years ago, and people forget.
Mhm.
We don't forget. It's a burden on us every day. My point is, I don't want everyone to be thinking about that every day. I'm not being, feeling sorry for myself, but I realize that it's a burden that I have to bear and Patty has to bear. And these kids will have something like PTSD for the rest of their lives.
They'll probably wake up every morning, and that might be the first thing that they think of for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
So if we can help,
and they
make a difference.
They to make a point, they burned some of the babies, to death. I
think we've all heard and seen these horror stories, and like Dave said, it's very common for time to go by, people to forget, and that this ever happened, but these people won't ever forget. And
right.
So anyway, that was one of our exciting
Yeah,
events.
it was a
That,
great event, and then
the stone,
the stone.
meeting Clody and sharing some experiences.
Ross,
It
if
was
you
really
just go
great.
to the next slide, and just one more slide, and then so the man who's in charge, he's the global head of books and manuscripts. This is what he said about it, and I like to look at it. This remarkable tablet is not only a vastly important historical artifact, but a tangible link to the beliefs that helped shape Western civilization.
Mhm.
To encounter this shared piece of cultural heritage is to journey through millennia and connect with cultures and faiths told through one of humanity's earliest and most enduring moral codes.
You know, what's interesting that came to my mind was talk about a literal trotting underfoot by the Gentiles.
Yeah.
I mean, this is literally the Ten Commandments stone being trodden underfoot
Yeah.
by Gentiles for how many years? It
Yeah.
was a paving stone, people walking over it, wearing it down and not
Yeah.
even knowing what they had.
Exactly.
And for it to come to light today, it's just like a miracle.
Yes, it is. And wasn't there, besides the second commandment,
There was so one missing, you shall not take the Lord your God in vain
Yeah.
was not there, but I think one of the other commandments was that you shall erect this stone on Mount Gerizim.
Yeah,
that was one of them.
so it's a little different.
A little bit different, yeah.
Yeah.
But
But that's for us. The most beautiful part of this is that we got to touch it and
yes,
you put your hands on it, you
right,
know,
right.
and you are touching history in that regard. I mean, to actually feel the commandments carved in stone, I can't tell you. It was an emotional journey for me.
And there's a thread up on Discord talking about all of this, and I put up the translation of it. I don't know if you want me to find it and read it.
Yeah. Why don't you just find it and read that really quickly, because we have a little bit of time.
Can I pull up Discord here without it looping, or should I get it off my phone?
It should get off your phone, probably.
You guys keep talking. I'll be right
I
back.
think really the only thing you got to worry about is not
Singing.
no, is just make sure that you don't get YouTube on here, because
Right.
that had the magical, mystical feedback that we had. It would come back 20 seconds later what we just said. It's all about that technology. Anyways, I missed Ross's talk last night, Torah Pearls, and what Ezra had to say, but we'll watch that later. Ross, what were you gonna? And there's Clody, and there we are in front of the stone. It was amazing standing in front of that stone. And Ross, before you go on, Ross, if you'll just put up what your class is tomorrow. I know we're following the normal year, the Stairway to Heaven. Yeah.
All right, I got the translation of the stone. There's basically 20 lines, and I will read this to you right now. Okay, this is a line by line inscription. Runs as follows: dedicated in the name of Korach, I will call you to remember for goodness forever. God spoke all these words, saying, I am the Lord your God. You shall not have for yourself other gods. Besides me, you shall not make for yourself a sculptured image or any likeness. For I, the Lord your God, am an impassioned God. Remember the Sabbath day, keep it holy, honor your father and your mother. You shall not murder. You shall not commit adultery. You shall not steal. You shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. You shall not covet. You shall erect these stones that I am commanding you today on Mount Gerizim. Rise up to God.
Wow.
Some people interpret that last one saying to build a temple, but to me it says it's a commandment to erect the stones with the 10 commandments on it, like we find in other passages.
Yes.
So, but that's up for interpretation.
Yeah.
But that's what it says, and I just think it's so beautiful.
And there's a belief that it was part of the Samaritans version. Right?
Yeah, maybe at a gate.
Yeah. And so for us, it's for us, it's who knows, what what it is.
And who knows what the future is going to be if somebody buys it. Maybe they would donate it to a museum for
Yeah.
everyone to see. But right now it's on display in New York City at Sotheby's until the
Till the auction. Yeah, till the auction actually happens. And so I'm very excited about to see what happens to it in the auction.
Right.
Of course, we have something a little more animal skin that we're after. And that would be the Moses scroll. But I can imagine. Here's the other kind of amazing thing. And Clody said it to us. You walk in Sotheby's, and it's right there. There's no one standing around it. It doesn't say what it is.
Right. There's no
it's just
we're talking
exactly
describing what it is, and
it's just
right there in their lobby.
It's just in the front. It's like, whoops, there it is.
Right.
She didn't know that song, by the way.
I thought maybe we had to make an appointment or buy a ticket or something, but it was just right there.
It was just right there, and it was so beautiful for me. I cannot tell you how happy I was to.
And it was kind of exactly the size that I expected it to be from the photos. It was about 18 inches by 12. Would you say?
No, you're way off again. 20 by 22 by 3 inches thick. It weighs 115 pounds.
Oh, okay.
You can't just carry this down from.
It looked very heavy, but I guess
Les Moses was a monster.
Bad guess.
You're way off.
Okay.
Almost 2.
All right, all right.
I'm just saying, and the size of it. It was like a sidewalk, a part of a sidewalk.
Right.
It was a paving stone. It looked like.
That's what it was.
And that to me was a stunning part of it. Part of history. And the fact that we were so blessed to be able to get in to see it and to touch it, it is just amazing.
And Dave, we took a little video of him in front of it, and hopefully we'll put that up.
Yeah, we're going to put that up
later. Maybe that will be a next class.
Yeah, well, I put it up on Discord. Seth has to help me a little bit with it.
Right.
But it's pretty huge. I can tell you that. In terms of weight. And the fact that they let us get so close
and touching it, I was amazed.
To touch it, it was for us a blessing. That it reminded us of the millennia, thousands of years of this faith, of those 10, and that was what was important. The 10, sometimes we get off into all these other parts of it. It's the 10 that matter.
Right.
That's going to drive your life. I don't mean the rest aren't important at all. I'm just saying God took the time to write 10 in stone, and these people took the time to write them again. And, it doesn't talk about circumcision. It doesn't talk about food laws. It doesn't talk about any holy day except for the Sabbath. It's just straight from the mountain. And I felt that when I read that.
Me too.
These people were trying to make sure that people remember. Don't ever forget these 10 because you are amazing. We got Chuck Dobbs that wants to speak.
Hey, Chuck.
How we doing, Chuck?
How's it going?
Let me see if we got to get up there. I think I gave you the high sign.
And thank you, Ross and Seth, for putting us to ad hoc thing together for us tonight. We do have other commitments later, but we wanted to make sure that we
that we do this because we feel we love it, and we get emails from people. Right. Chuck, you want to try hitting that again? You didn't come up. I'm pretty sure. There you go. Let me invite to speak. I said yes. There you are. And then you got your microphone is muted, and we'll see what happens. Got to unmute your mic, which and ours is kind of at the bottom left of the screen on PC, but I don't know where it would be on yours. There we go. Chuck, can we hear you? Chuck? Let me see.
Do you have him muted?
No. He's got to unmute himself.
It says mute right there.
I can't unmute that.
Oh.
It's him.
Oh, okay.
See, this is where ours, see that microphone is in the bottom left. I don't know, Ross, if you can give in. What are you on, Chuck? What you on?
What you on, Chuck?
I mean, no, I don't mean the drugs you're on. You meant I meant, are you on a iPad, a phone, a PC, a Mac? I don't know.
Well, keep trying, Chuck. We're here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you, Julia, for coming in. I'm sorry that we changed the time. It is already Shabbat here in New York, though, so it's not like we did it early. Ross said, you got to find your mute, just like you said. Yeah. I know Chuck had a lot to say about the book of Daniel. We're going to talk about that. Yeah, so we've also are going to some very large synagogues here, at least the one main synagogue tomorrow, and that's exciting to go to. And although we don't practice Judaism, it's just parts of the whole past. Claudia said something. I said something to Claudia that this stone is part of uncovering that past. And Claudia said something very powerful, and she said, Dave, you and me and Patty meeting here is part of uncovering that past.
Mm-hmm.
Just like Ross's lessons and Ross and Jono's Torah pearls.
Right.
It's all part of that search.
Well, there's that first, don't disregard the day of small things.
Right.
And even these smallest of gatherings and ideas and things that we have make a difference.
Nikita put up a good audio story on Discord. That's part of,
that's part of the puzzle.
How do we get to where we're at?
Mm-hmm.
Because, we came through such different paths to, I don't want to say it again, but it's like the Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Mm-hmm.
You're just going after this, this stone in the middle of nowhere, and you just don't know why. Well, we're coming after these 10, and this Creator God who gave us these 10. And to me, it's an honor to have seen this stone and, to read the 10 Commandments that were given at least 3,000 years ago, probably more like 3,500 years ago. And if they're still here. And, so what if there's little differences? These were copied down by people over millennia. And so we have a really, time. And all I'm telling you at the end of the day is, for us, we're so grateful to this, and we're so grateful to y'all for supporting us, supporting the Horeb Institute, United Israel World Union. Clody talked with us about the UIWU annual meeting in Jackson, and that's going to be exciting. There's a lot of time for us to talk and get to know each other. We learned a lot more about Clody as a human.
Mm-hmm.
She was amazing, has an amazing life. Mm-hmm. And we all have these great lives. I guess we lost Chuck.
Chuck, if you're still there and you want to type your comment and we can read it for you, or save it for next time.
He probably needed more. It takes a while to get used to Discord. I understand, believe me. It's very good about being secure, so we can talk about what we want. And, to me, that's a great thing. Like I said, at the end of the day, for us, the 10 are the most important things in our life, and understanding and how to live that life. And it doesn't mean the others aren't as important. A lot of them make a lot of sense. Things about not having relations with your family and just common sense stuff that's been proven also through science not to do, biology and all that. I love that, that it agrees with that, and like I said, Maimonides said, to the extent that your religion doesn't agree with true science, he said true science, he said your religion is wrong.
I like that.
So that's why I love Maimonides in those ways. Again, I'm not following Judaism, but I do.
You can get knowledge from
everybody.
Everybody.
The Sufis. Eric was talking about that. The other Eric, not EJ. was talking about Sufis,
Oh.
the Sufi,
Mhm.
and there's some great wisdom that he had, and of course, that's not accepted in Islam anymore.
Hmm.
The Sufi, and so but they're brilliant statements about life, and it's not just us who thinks of great things to say. Many people have thought of great things,
Right.
but in focus of the 10, it's a beautiful thing for us to follow out all these things. I believe, and I think Ross believes, and other Jono, a lot of other people that the search of our life is to find the Moses scroll, and for me, um, you know, I can't imagine the people that had the stone that we just saw today. For so long, they thought it was fake.
Mhm.
And now it's going to be sold for $2 million or who knows how much.
2 million.
2 million, but that's just a guess.
Right.
Once bidders started, it's whoever's got the money. The Aleppo Codex we know went for an insane amount of money. And again, but I don't care about the wealth or the worth of the Moses scroll. I just want to know that it's what we think it is.
Mhm.
I think one of the other things about people that really don't understand, for me, I think that there's two elements that really come out to me in the search for the Moses scroll. Number one is, what does it say? These people are arguing about things. They don't even know what it says. Does it make sense within the context of the Septuagint or the Masoretic text? They don't even discuss this. Ross is the only one, and Jono are the only ones that have discussed this. I think that's important.
Definitely.
And number one. Number two, the context of how it was found and how those decisions were made. There's a guy that made a movie. But other than that, Ross is the only one that's kind of codified this whole thing. And we were, we went to Berlin to the Nachlass of these famous scholars, and we touched Moses Shapiro's. We're not supposed to, but we touched his work,
His notes.
They're going to say, "Hey, there's this guy. We found some.
We got his fingerprint. We know who he is now.
We got a DNA from somebody from the United States. What's this? What's he doing in here?
Oh my gosh!
And to go and touch this firsthand. There's a revelation in all of that, and it doesn't mean, hey, y'all don't have to be following. You don't have to spend your time. It's just something that we feel
have a
passion to do.
Yeah, but I like that word in the commandment that God is instead of jealous, it says an impassioned.
Yeah.
Impassioned. I like that translation of the word for jealous.
Yeah. And I think that's true.
Right.
Cody is impassioned to find out about the truth.
Right.
Nikita is impassioned.
All of
with
us
it.
here are impassioned.
Yeah, we care about this. It's not about money or any other thing. It's about what did the Almighty God say to us, and if we could have some way of discourse. If someday we get to be in front of this power of all powers, this force of all forces, the Almighty. That to me, that forget all of everything else is irrelevant at that point. It's the Almighty, and like I say, I think we've all said this. We're fanatics. We're madly in love with this Creator God, and no one is in the way. It's the Most High and us. That's it. There's no. You can ask for Ross or me or Patty or Nikita to tell you about life, but it's you and the Almighty.
Right.
There's
none no of us, mediator.
There's no mediator. Right. There's just our Creator and us, and we are in Him and He is in us, and that's the end of it.
Well,
there's nothing else.
we don't have a lot of people here today, but is there anybody that would like to get up and say something or?
Well, Chuck tried to.
Chuck tried, yeah. I don't know what happened to Chuck.
And next week we are going to continue with the Proverbs.
Right. So if anybody here wants to read.
Yeah, just send us you can do it on Discord, or you can send United Israel Northeast at gmail.com.
Right.
And like I said, for us tonight, it's just one of those things where we celebrate Shabbat wherever we go. And, we've been knee deep in it today with Clody. I'm so grateful that she came out. She's 39 or 40 miles out from where we're at.
Right.
And she had to get squeezed in her schedule, and it was there,
Right.
Like I said, we met some other Jews in front of the stone, and it was quite amazing. His kid, his name was Quentin, and he looked like a blonde-haired
Russian? Swedish?
Yeah, he looked
Nordic,
and he was a Christian his whole life, and he was adopted, and he did his DNA.
Oh my gosh, that sounds like me.
Yeah, he did his DNA, and it said, your mother was 100% Jew.
That is amazing.
And he's a Christian, and a happy Christian. And he said, hey, man, let me go check out what is being a Jew. And he's become a Jew. And, I said, well, we worship the Most High. He goes, I've never heard him called that before. I go, well, so I gave him my card, and, he might come with us, Quentin.
Right. You never know. He might be at the meeting.
I invited him to listen to Ross tomorrow. I said, I wrote in the back of the card, Ross K. Nichols TV. I said, 10:30 Eastern time tomorrow.
Right.
Just turn it on. And then, the talk afterwards, you won't be able to get into, but, but you
can get into it. No, unless he's Discord.
Right, but unless he's part of the Yichad.
Oh, okay.
So when he becomes part of the Yichad, he can get on and talk. And I said it's because of, people, anti-Semites and
security
just
reasons.
Other idiots that want to destroy what we do. And, it is one of those amazing things for me. And like I said, at the end of the day, his friend, whose name was David, was a cynical Jew. But boy did we go at it in a nice way. We were, and he goes, yeah, you know what I like about being a Jew? I like the food. I go, yeah, it's kind of like, I like being Italian. It's just like being a Jew, but with better food. And we started with this banter. And
right.
He ended up saying he loved me at the end.
Yeah, and the other guy that he was with might end up being a supporter of this Assure thing we're doing.
Exactly.
You just never know who you're going to meet. These one-on-one small conversations and meetings that you have with people.
Everything is important.
Yes.
And, how people like Libby and Julia, Nikita, Chuck, how we met that, Morgan, EJ, Clody, all these people, Arta, it just happens. And again, I really want to explain to you that, everyone that watches this, not the people here tonight so much, because I know I'm speaking to the choir, so to speak, but we got to support Ross and Seth, and Seth is the creative director. He has taken this from like what you and I are, like my little thing right now, all the way up to what Ross has become, and his not only is the level of Ross's teaching increased, which we appreciate,
but the delivery, the production, everything,
and that's important,
so great.
Because somebody 100 years from now could go back and say, holy cow, this guy knew it back then. Why didn't we listen to him?
We have a record of all of it.
And that's the good thing, in my opinion.
Yes,
this is just meant to be, intimate gatherings with people.
Right.
And so the other thing I wanted to say is this. I have this thought today when I was over there. The other thing is, in Jackson at the conference at the end of April, if you're coming there and you want to help us do music, please let us know, and we can coordinate beforehand. We have a plan of doing music, and we've done music before, but we want other people to lift their voices, and I know there's got to be some good singers, or I know that
Whatever your gift is.
Josh can play the keyboards. He went to school to play piano.
We had one year a lady play the harp.
Yeah.
What was her name? Remember her?
No, I don't.
Yeah, she was a wonderful woman. She was into the green vegetarianism. Rachel Unruh. Yeah.
Oh, she played the harp too?
I believe
I don't think it was her that did.
You don't think so?
I don't know.
Maybe someone can refresh my memory.
Yeah, Nikita wants to speak, and we know that she speaks to the congregation of the Most High.
Yes. Hello, Nikita.
Shabbat shalom, Nikita.
Shabbat shalom and greetings to the congregation of the Most High. How are you?
Amen. And shalom.
Can you hear me okay?
Oh, yeah.
Very good.
Always.
Wonderful, wonderful. I loved seeing the stone. That was very nice. Glad you were able to go see it. First thing popped in my head was, how do you carbon date a rock? Like a rock has a birth. How do you carbon date a rock?
It's patina, the patina on it.
I don't think they can carbon date the rock. I think they're going to use other types of.
Oh, it's already been done. Whatever's done is done. They know. They know what it is.
Oh.
But the patina has a lot to do with it.
I didn't think they could do that.
The patina has a lot to do with it. I know that patina can be used. Also, they know. How can I say it? Freshly cut stone is a different thing.
Okay.
Is a different thing. You can tell when it's freshly cut. I would really refer to archaeologists, but I know that it's really long, and its history of the recent history has been a long time that people thought it was just fraud. There's no way it could be, and they went through and did all that. So I don't know exactly how they dated it, but I know that they've dated it to like 500-ish AD, and that it's probably Byzantine, but it might be a little, earlier. It might be Roman time frame, and it was probably more on the Sumerian side. This is what it was, anyways. Just thought, you can tell it's an old carving. I don't know what else. That's a good question. I'm sure that if we look that up, if we look that up about how did they date it, it's probably well documented.
Okay.
Anyways, Nikita. Yeah, we're looking it up right now for you. But that's it weighs 115 pounds. The bad thought came to me that it's right by the front door. And it's not buckled down or anything. I'm like, how far would I get? I'm like, smash and grab. Well, this goes over $1,000, so you're gonna get caught and charged with stealing. I'm only kidding.
It might be a little heavy for that.
It's one of the commandments. You think about the irony of that. Thou shalt not steal, and you're stealing the stone. But anyways, I'm pretty sure it was through patina, and I know that it's a long time ago. But it'll be interesting to see. Did you find anything, hon?
Yeah, it's really long.
Yeah.
Carbon dating, stratigraphy, and analysis of associated materials.
Yeah.
If you want, Patty, you could just put it in the chat if it's long, and I'll just, read it on my own.
Put it in the chat.
Yeah, that way I don't take up the time.
It's easy to put in chat.
Yes, I will do that.
Yeah, because that would be good. Yeah, no, you don't have to. Like I say, we're really excited just to be coming from New York City with you. There's so many great people here, and that we're meeting, and you have to kind of.
Okay, I'm going to kind of reiterate what I thought was correct.
Yeah.
The Ten Commandments paving stone has not been definitively carbon dated in a manner that provides conclusive evidence of their age. Carbon dating is used for organic materials,
right?
And most inscriptions associated with the Ten Commandments are found on stone, which cannot be carbon dated directly.
Right.
So I was right.
It's patina, Pat. It's patina that they do it in.
Yes.
Yeah. So the patina is what's carbon dated.
Right.
And I don't know. There's a lot of analysis that goes on because you can fake patina too. You know what I'm saying? if you can fake patina. So I think it's old. I know that it's at least several hundred years old because that's how long people have been talking about it. There's another one of these Paleo Hebrew inscriptions in New Mexico, in Los Lunas, and it's the Decalogue again. And in the top, it says, and it looks. I took some special operators there, Green Berets, retired, and they said this is built like a fortress. And it turned out in Los Lunas there was a river going. The Rio Grande went right under Los Lunas in the times BCE. Number one. Number two, there was an inscription of a astronomical
Event.
It was what are those called?
Constellation?
No, it was the eclipse. Excuse me. I was thinking of other things. It was an eclipse, and they put down what constellations were there. Well, Dr. Tabor got that eclipse, and he asked his science people at his science people over at University of North Carolina or some other university, and they said this eclipse happened on a certain date in 109 BCE. 109 BCE. And so he looked up the date, right? He looked up the date, and it was Yom Kippur.
Didn't James write something about it?
James has written something about this.
We have to pull that out and check
We have to put that up. And so the point is, there's a belief that we believe that people didn't have the navigational capability back then. Well, they did, and they sailed everywhere. And this is all Paleo Hebrew. And I went to see the Los Lunas inscription. It's below Albuquerque, New Mexico, in the town of Los Lunas. And I don't want to get into too mystical, but the man that brought me there, his name was Luna, and his
Matt Luna.
But you don't have to use first names. And his family had founded the town of Los Lunas. So he said, Dave, we need to take you to.
Wait, he didn't know about it. Matt Luna did. We told him about this stone, and he didn't even know about it.
Okay, but that has nothing to do with my story.
Oh, sorry.
After we went to see the stone, you're not following. After we went to see the stone, that's okay. We after we went to see the stone, said you got to go talk to the shaman, and he's Navajo. I said, well, I don't believe in that stuff. He goes, no, they want to talk to you. So I went there. I won't go through the whole story, but he said, we're expecting white men with long beards to come back from that stone. And I was just stunned. I go, what do you mean? He goes, they weren't Native Americans. They were like European type people that came here millennia ago. And they said they would return, and they never did. This is the lore of the Native American and the Comanche. And the Navajo also know about these people, and they left.
That's really interesting.
And when you look at the dispersion, God sent Israel to all nations. There's no question. There's Africans that are Israelite. There's all the Oriental and Asians that are Israelite. There's Nordic people. There's Celtic people. That we all have part of the Israelite nation spread in us in one way or another.
Another interesting thing was the topography of the area. There were like seashells, and there's indications of sea life. Up at these higher elevations, and
now it looks like a desert, and people think there's no way that there was.
Right.
And so the other thing is this: it was found. The Paleo Hebrew was found before Western civilization know what Paleo Hebrew was.
Right.
I'm just.
They always would say contributed to some ancient Indian tribe that nobody knew about.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly.
And my point at the end of the day is that it's. It fits into the lore of the Mormons, but I'm not subscribing to that. But the Mormons rely heavily on the tribes. I don't know if you knew that, but they is that. But anyways, just to say that there's there's other Hebrew inscriptions in the United States, and these people were traveling, and you'd be surprised who from Abraham how we're all related, because I'm sure that we're really, I believe that we're all related from Noah, but I believe that also a lot of us who have this focus on the Decalogue came from the Abrahamic faith and the original Hebrew faith. And unfortunately, as we've all talked about, Nikita's talked about, the isms kind of ruin it. And we're trying to take all that mask off and get back to what did God want for us and what did he want us to do. And he is the Most High. I only can stand in awe. And like I say, I feel so blessed that we were able to have Clody with us today and go see this. Even though we only were able to see it for an hour. Right. For us, it was just so beautiful. Right. And we're going to put up, Seth will help me. We're going to put up some, videos and stuff of it. So you can get to see the size, and, you can see Patty and Clody touching it. And I don't know. I think we said this before. When we first started this channel, or first started this I wrote out the 10 Commandments, and it's a powerful thing to write them out, because they're speaking them. You can hear someone say them, then you can read them and speak them yourself, and then you write them out, and it's kind of like the Almighty's connected right to your brain. Look, you're touching these same words that I spoke 3,500 years ago on Mount Sinai or Horeb. Anyways, that's really what we were doing. And like I say, I think we all are trying to find it out. We all have different opinions and ideas, and I've learned from everybody that's been involved in this whole discussion. Eric, AJ always has great. It's a great thing. Nikita, Julia, Libby always has things. Sue's always talking. I've always had a great talk with Morgan.
Eric always has something interesting. Is he not on today?
EJ.
Oh, EJ.
Oh,
okay.
He's going by Eric the EJ.
Oh, okay.
EJ the DJ. Lodi. We've learned from everybody, and they're all different than we are. And we all came to it from a different thing. And at the end of the day, it's a great and beautiful thing. So
I also wanted to bring up about a question someone had mentioned about the jealousy of the Most High.
Yeah.
We had it. I love the way he orchestrates things. He's so wonderful. We were talking in one of my other classes I attend about that very same topic this week. And it was not, the jealousy is more in the illustration that I gave was like this. There's a builder.
Yeah.
And the builder builds a submarine. It's a luxury submarine.
Okay.
It has malls in it. It has everything. It can go to the bottom of the bottom in no time flat without any pressure issues. And he was so proud of this work that he had, that he created.
Yeah. Yes.
It was almost like living on land, but everything that you could possibly want was in this submarine. So he built it with the finest of materials, able to regenerate itself. And it was just completely self-sufficient.
Yeah.
Then the builder gave it free will. And once it left the ocean to surface, from that point forward, all it ever wanted to do was be on land. It wanted to have wheels, and it wanted to do now with the free will that it had, it tried to get on land, but it didn't have wheels. So it started damaging its hull, and it just made a mess of itself, trying to be everything that it was not created to be.
Yeah.
The builder's jealousy was the fact that what he built wanted to be something that it wasn't, when it was already packed with this glory and majesty that reflected the intelligence of the builder, and it reflected the ingenuity of the builder. I say, so when we are built by the Most High, we are his creations, and we hunger and lust and crave to be something lower than what he made us to be, that enrages him. It's not that he's possessive of us, because who else can we belong to other than him? There's no other power.
No.
but it's almost like he's grieving the fact that we refuse to be the biggest potential that he gave us to be, and we want some lower class of existence.
Yeah.
You're not satisfied with the mental prowess that the Most High gives us, the physical agility that he's given us. And I mean, none of us are 100% what you would call superhuman. You know, a lot of people can sing, I can't. You know, some of us can, you know, a lot of things that everyone doesn't do. But that wasn't for us to be jealous of someone else's talent or ability. It is for us to appreciate the creativeness in the Most High and allowing that person, those other people, to have things that we can't have or aren't able to do.
Yeah.
So the jealousness to me isn't the negative connotation, you know, like between a man and a woman and another person trying to get in a relationship. It's not that kind of jealousy.
Right.
It's like when you refuse to recognize me, you will never see the greatness that I put in you that can only come from me.
Amen.
Yes,
And it's a sadness. It's a sadness. And I mean, those of us who have children, when we see our kids operating in a low form, and we know, I'm like, I know you can do better. I know you're capable of doing better. You've done better in the past. But instead of, while incorporating a fear of failure, they refuse to either try again or prepare for something different.
Yes.
But when they do good and when they use the teachings that you gave them, you have joy in this.
Yeah.
And and hopefully the Creator has joy when he sees us trying to raise our vibration or work with the commandments.
Make the world a better place.
Make the world a better place. I think that
that's why we can see things better. It's like if you have a little vision and the Most High shows you something and you grow in that, then he's capable of trusting you with more vision. But if you take the little vision that he gives you and use it for nefarious purposes, then you'll never see beyond that.
No, never.
Right.
We will never see beyond that. And that's a sad thing because, we're our Father, the heritage of our Father, our Most High Creator, our heritage is that of His. Man.
We're in His image. So created in His image, His likeness, and with these inherent traits. And it's up to us to do good with it, like you said.
We're from the right family.
Yes, and that's how I explain the jealousy. It's not a negative thing. It's like you're living. You're not using your free will to get the best benefit of this life that the Most High wanted you to.
Right. Yeah. Some people squander it and abuse it even. Yeah. So.
Yep, that's a great thing. Well, we're very excited to. We have to get going now because we're meeting some more friends. But we're going to be back next week.
Right, same time, same channel.
I don't think at 5:00 though.
No, not same as this. I mean, our original.
We're going to talk about
some people
what that
said
is.
that they like the earlier time.
Maybe we'll go up to another hour or any suggestion. I know there's people across the whole. That's a problem, but maybe we'll go from instead of
a half hour
or an hour earlier or something.
Early, because it is getting so dark early.
And just put some stuff in the comments of when you would like it to
what
happen.
You would like. What else you'd like to see here? Eric. EJ says more things to learn from Proverbs.
And we're going to go for Proverbs 3. And if you want to read Proverbs next week, we're chapter 3 in the ASV, just let us know. And we like to have other people read, so it's not just us. And we're going to do some great things.
Ben Michael says, thanks for gathering. And I just want to say thank you to all of you and to all of
all of you.
Our YouTube friends here. I want to say Shabbat Shalom and thank you for joining us. So
the other thing I would say is this, that we met Clody today and we met Ross many times. If we could meet some of you when we're traveling, just let us know. And it's good to, things, having a coffee together or just, drinking water together. We had such a great discussion and it was so beautiful to talk about that.
Right.
Anyways, love y'all. And I'm just going to read the the closing prayer. We're going to be off seeing some other beautiful people tonight, some other faithful. Jehovah bless you and keep you. Jehovah make his face shine on you and be gracious to you. Jehovah turn his face towards you and give you peace. That's from the book of Numbers.
Amen.
And tomorrow is the Stairway to Heaven at 10:30 with Ross, and then the Zoom discussions after. And we thank all of you for tuning in, and we're going to be back to